Hello?
Track.
Yeah.
What distance?
When I did track, I mainly did the 100, 200, 400, 800. In college, I did a lot of 600s, but I did cross country in the fall too.
Okay.
So I ran in every race from the 100-meter dash to the 5K.
Are you talking middle school?
No, high school and college.
Oh, high school, college. Okay. Okay. What I'm curious about that because I don't know. That just is nice. For me, I didn't seem like a runner for no reason except if you're gonna beat somebody. So I just wanted to know what piqued your interest in that kind of sport because it's kind of vague.
Track is vague. Is that what you mean?
I mean, yeah, just running.
Oh yeah, I mean there's like 30 events you can do, so
Yeah, I mean, vague in the sense of like multiple things that you could do. Like there's distance and there's, you know,
yeah, I was a runner.
sprinting.
I probably, if I could have learned how to do it, I probably could have been a decent high jumper, even though I'm not very tall. I when I was in high school, I could jump like a maniac. I'm only like 5'10". My hands are too small to palm a basketball, but I could like palm a a volleyball because I could actually hold it in one hand. Um, yeah, I could jump, but I never like worked on high jump form because I didn't want to. I wanted to run. But enough about me. Tell me about you.
Wait, so okay, so you had interest in volleyball and running, right?
No, that's not what I said at
Wait,
all.
what? You? Sorry, you wanted to palm what?
Just it's not important. What do you want to talk about?
Um, let's talk about anything that you want to talk about. I mean, there's a lot of things I want to talk about, but
Well,
I
you have
just
to
wanted to
pick.
go into. Oh, I have to pick. Okay,
Yep.
that's fine. Your faith is equal to anyone's. Yeah,
Yep. You want to talk about that?
please.
Sorry, what?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay.
I'd love to.
Um, who's right, Protestants or Catholics?
I mean, neither. If anybody has any kind of, free will to subject their opinion, I don't think it's Protestants versus, Catholics versus Muslims versus agnostics versus anybody in that sense. I don't want to dumb it down to two people that have, been brought up by something that they've never had any other experience from. I, don't- I I'm not sure about that. How to answer that? I
And that's the problem. We
I agree.
there's no answering the question, which means they're equal.
Okay, equally bad, equally good, equally good,
Doesn't really
equally.
have to be. It doesn't really have to be good or bad, but uh, they're I- in terms of like trying to answer a question, they're both inadequate, equally inadequate.
Fair. Who said they were the only two that were knowledgeable of answering?
I Well, it doesn't matter if those are the only two. Well, I guess it does if I'm saying that they're all. So I could have
Is it
picked any
all?
two, and they would both
Right.
have the same. We'd It'd be the same issue.
Okay, I see your point.
Hmm.
May I pick another question?
You can do whatever you want.
Okay. The Big Bang happened.
Yep. That's not a question.
Now, I'm just picking a topic
Okay.
and just letting it sit there for a second. The Big Bang happened. So why did it happen?
I have no idea. I also don't know why we would assume a teleology.
Okay.
I'm trying to get shit done and nothing works. So,
I'm sorry, what happened?
just something on my computer that's not important.
Oh, yeah, okay. So the Big Bang happened. Who? Oh,
I'm here. I can hear you.
oh, I'm chewing on a sunflower seed. Okay, you can hear me. Thank you. Who is the Big Banger?
Who?
There's got to be a who, right? If there's a bang,
I don't see why that would follow. All that would do is push us one step farther back and then be like, okay, well if there has to be a banger, what banged the banger?
okay, let's do
You
that.
know, you might say your mom, and I would agree,
And
but it doesn't actually answer the question. Because now we got to try to figure out who banged that.
it seems like a rabbit hole of banging, but
Yeah, pretty much. Rabbits are good at that.
maybe, yeah, I was gonna say maybe that's what they're born to do. So the rabbit god brought us to this concept of conversation to determine who was the inevitable force of everything and anything. Okay, cool. One last question.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. What's the most important thing that you would like to improve on, and how can I improve on it as well?
For myself or for the world?
No, no, no. What's, let me rephrase it. What's the most important thing you think that you as an individual should improve on, and as everybody else should also consider improving on?
Oh, just
Well,
education.
educating.
Yeah.
On what category, if you don't mind
Just
me?
general knowledge. Just being less ignorant.
Whether it's science, whether it's physics, whether it's calculus, whether it's
The world has an enormous number of very
English,
different problems, and we need experts in a great many number of fields. So yeah, literally anything.
to just dive into something and just go for it head forth and just do that.
Yep.
And it's all equal. History.
Oh, like when you're on a date and you've been holding it in for a really long time, and then when it's over, you can finally. Oh man. Oh.
Hello?
What's up, Sammy?
What's up? What do you mean by the God hypothesis is useless?
If we want to try to explain something about the natural world, claiming some god did it offers us nothing.
Okay, but if like for instance, let's say somebody has a strong belief system and it gives them the inclination to be a more moral person, would you then call it a hypothesis and tell them to cope, or would you say it's a net positive for the world?
It could be. Again, I'm mostly focused on like, trying to understand things about the natural world. But if uh theoretically, if somebody believes in that, uh, that isn't really an explanation anyways. Like they do. It happens to be the fact that they believe in this thing and then this is the result. But that's not even an explanation. What would be more interesting is let's try to study the psychology of this and see what's behind it. Because a lot of us really just justify what we believe in, or like we justify the way we are based on beliefs that we learn, not something that's inherently intrinsic to us, right? Oh well, I'm a the reason that I like blank is because I was raised that way, or this or that, when that's really probably not the case when it comes to most things.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, I just I have a big gripe with people just you know demonizing religion in a sort when I mean there are a lot of religious people who are moral and good and do things in good faith. And I think demonizing these people and making them feel ostracized from society does no good, if that makes
I
sense.
mean, you don't really see secularists judging the entire group based on the bad actions of a few individuals, but you see religious people doing that all the time. I mean, I literally saw a Bible guy who was doing he was doing a live earlier, and one of his bullet points said the Quran is from Satan. So, I mean, this is a guy deliberately throwing out there. It's not just that people who believe in something other than me are wrong; they're morally wrong, and they're perpetuating evil, the most evil thing that exists, Satan. Uh, so
Yeah, I get that, but I mean, I think it happens on both ends. I was in a live like just earlier today. We were talking about how one bad apple tends to spoil the bunch, and I think if everybody just treated each other with a bit more humanity and compassion, it wouldn't be arguing and fighting all the time, but it would more be trying to see through each other's eyes, if that makes sense. And then when you do that and you put yourself in the other person's shoes, you tend to find that we're very similar as humans. Like only a few issues separate us.
yeah, but religion stands in the way of all of that progress, really more so than anything.
Well, firstly, what progress? Secondly, I'd like you to explain how.
The things you just described,
So the
people
progress.
trying to be more like egalitarian and accepting and tolerant of other people and what they think and what they might believe in.
Well, it's
But
not. I mean,
I would
it's
also
not.
argue like the advancement of scientific knowledge and things like that.
Well, let me clarify. It's not just to be tolerant. It's to be good. So there's a plethora of ways you could do that, but I don't think religion stands in the way of being good per se. I mean, there's obviously some religions we could speak about, but
So, right, not the one you believe in, probably. Funny how that always happens to be the case. Um,
well, I
so
mean,
yeah,
there's there's
I
there's
wouldn't
like
say that if you are a religious believer, therefore you are standing in the way of progress. No, it's just that religion happens to do that. Like Christopher Hitchens has a really great quote about this. He says, "The way the world would work is, or the way the world maybe should work is, you have bad people that do bad things and good people that do good things. If you want a good person to do a bad thing, a terrible thing, you have to have religion in order to do that. Now, I think a lot of other things that are quasi-religious, like nationalism and and things like that, can basically do the same thing. I've never read this book, but there's a book called Ordinary Men, which is it's very, very highly critically acclaimed. It's a story about how, the people that were serving for the German army
I love
in the
that book.
30s and 40s were really just ordinary people.
It's a great
None,
book.
none of them were the type of person that
Correct.
those horrible leaders were. They were ordinary men.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing can happen to ordinary people.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, but you cannot give me a secular reason for anti-Semitism. Like, it just doesn't exist. It's a product of Christianity and then some other religious bigotry towards them.
I mean, if we're looking at it from a historical standpoint, I would tend to agree with you there, but I think I wouldn't rule out the capability for people to be bigoted in the absence of religion, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, it happens.
Okay.
I mean, it definitely happens. There's a lot of elitism from like the political left. Like, for whatever reason, it's completely not okay to make fun of somebody who's in a minority group, or like to criticize somebody. We don't even have to say minority group. It's never okay to like comedian jokes that are about race and stuff like that, or those aren't funny. That's never okay. But it's totally fine to call somebody that votes Republican an inbred redneck. And it's like, okay, very, very consistent there. You see all kinds of stuff like that, but you know, and well, you see it in sports too. The things people will make up about people that cheer for the rival of a sports team are just insane.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess humans just have this natural inclination to faction with one another. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. This has been short, and I don't know how many people are in your box, but
Oh, that's what she said. You should have said how many people have been in. But anyways.
yeah, no, I like that. The thing that really set you apart from me just now was Ordinary Men. I think you should really pick up that book and read it. It's a great book.
I got two books on the philosophy of science and neuroscience that I'm working on. I'm currently reading the Bible. I have a Steven Pinker book that I need to return to try to read sometime. I'm currently writing two books. I want to read that book. It's on my buy list for on Amazon, but it might be quite a while.
How far along are you in your books? And if you don't mind me asking, what are they about?
Oh, well, the one I'm very, very close to finished with the writing. I'm pretty much done writing it. I just need to compile everything together. My computer is getting repaired, unfortunately. So, but that book is about, I've been doing these debates for like 2 years, 2.5 years.
Oh wow.
And it's all the common arguments I've heard. There are 91, I think, in there. And then like the researched scientific and or logical response to them, because pretty much every claim in the book is bad. There are a few that are interesting and decent, but fall apart under scrutiny. The book I just started writing a few days ago is called Facts That Aren't True. So I started doing a video playlist series of this on my channel. And my videos are pretty short, but I'm going really in depth with each of the facts that aren't true. So My goal is to get 100. I think I'm really close to having 100. I mean, for all I know, I'll have 120 by the time it's done or something like that. But they're just uh, widely parroted misconceptions, old wives' tales, popular myths, and rumors that aren't true. Like we only use 10% of our brain, alcohol warms you up, the Great Wall of China is visible from space, Thomas Edison invented the light bulb, chameleons camouflage, all kinds of stuff.
Interesting. Yeah, it's great. Have you ever published a book before?
Nope.
Um, Look, I'm gonna follow you. If you need any help publishing, uh, let me know.
Well, I found a self-publishing company. That's what I plan on doing for it. I've already kind of worked with them a little bit. They're gonna go through with it, um, but I appreciate it. If I find I want to do other stuff, maybe I'll let you know.
Okay, cool. Um, yeah, the Bible's interesting too. How far are you into the Bible?
I'm on Second Samuel, I think.
Okay,
I
nice.
haven't listened to it for like 2 or 3 weeks. I have an hour long drive to work, and I listen to it I listen to it on my way to work. But I wanted to read this other book in the meantime. The Bible's 100 hours long on audiobook, so
Yeah, Bible's.
I took a break from it, but I'll probably go back to it relatively soon.
I think the Bible is like a foundational reading. Like just put aside religion. I think the Bible is honestly a foundational reading.
Um, yeah, I mean, the way I think about it is if you're going to criticize something, you ought to know something about it. So,
Yeah, well, it's like put aside scrolls. Like I think it's the first. I would call it the first book. Like, and then it's not really one book. It's like a bunch of little short stories.
um, yeah, I mean, in a way, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I like that. I like that philosophy. If you're gonna criticize something, at least know it.
Yeah, that's Pope John Paul read was a how do I say this? I don't know. I don't have the words right now, but he read volumes about communism, and he thought communism was horrible, but he thought he ought to understand what it's about. So there you go.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well,
Well, listen,
thanks for
man,
coming up.
it was great talking to you. It was short, but you know, I think I gained a lot of wisdom.